Make3D has been one of the most essential businesses fighting COVID-19 in the Gambia by partnering with the Medical Research Council unit, the Gambia, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine by producing and testing 3D printing, protective gears, laboratory and medical equipments as part of their response to COVID-19 in the Gambia. Make3D Company Limited, Gambia's first and only commercial 3D printing company. Today, the brains behind this magnificent establishment will take us on a journey to its success. Welcome to Entrepreneurs.
Fatou Jukadabo is a young Gambian youth and gender activist, a maintenance technician that loves tech, a woman in STEM champion, and now a businesswoman and director of Make3D Company Limited, the first and currently the only 3D printing company in the Gambia, which aims at providing access to 3D printing technology to Gambian youths, experts, and institutions. In short, this is Make3D. This is our office. This is where all the 3D printing magic happens. Well, most of it, this is where it happens, because 3D printing is pretty mobile and we can move from one station to another, but this is our permanent workstation. This is where our office is. So I will just take you through my office, and this is my workstation, and here with me is my husband, Sylvester Tikaj.
Hello, nice to meet you, and welcome to our new office. I'm Sylvester. I'm originally from Czech Republic, and I came to the Gambia 3 years ago with an NGO providing bicycles to schools. But since I was always interested in technology, I decided to bring a completely new technology, new to the Gambia. I decided to bring it here, and when we actually found that there is so much things that we can do with the 3D printers in medical fields, education, and other sectors, we decided to establish a company, and we decided to explore those things and opportunities for 3D printing. I met with Juka actually in 2019, and she was introduced to me by our mutual friend as a potential partner in this technical adventure. And the work went well that I finally married her, and
and now we are married.
and now there is no way back, you know.
We met through a mutual friend in 2019 when he was looking for someone that will be interested in this new technology that he is bringing. And when we met and we saw what are the potentials of 3D printing in the Gambia and what were the possibilities, we were like, wow, this is something we really need to go into, like deeper as a business and as partners. We started with one 3D printer. 2 months later, we got another one. So we started our business with basically 2 3D printers, and now we are at 12 3D printers.
Something like that. We even stopped counting, you know.
Yeah, we have stopped counting because the need for 3D printers kept growing and growing, and we kept getting new printers and getting bigger.
You may ask why we actually bought 12 small machines instead of 1 big machine, and that's exactly when the advantage of these type of 3D printing is. First, it can be decentralized. So one of the machines can be in Basse, another can be in Banjul, another can be in Soma or in other towns in the Gambia or West Africa, and they can all produce locally for local production, contextualized local production, one thing. And the other thing is that even the bigger machines, okay, some of them they might produce bigger things, but that's not what the demand is right now. And the strength is having so-called print farm. So it means a lot of smaller machines producing all at the same time And that's why multiply basically the number of products, the number of things that we can manufacture.
And talking about decentralization, where there is no electricity, we recently built a mobile solar 3D printing station, which we use independently from the electric supply of the country or the particular area we are in. So we can actually decentralize in the way that we can use our own solar station and just 3D print. So I know the question always comes, but you always need electricity to 3D print. You always need electricity to 3D print. Yes, we need electricity, but we also found a solution for that.
This is truly what makes this company a giant in Africa. We will be going on a short break, and when we come back, MMH will go deeply into the different projects and achievements of Make3D. Stay tuned.
We basically need to edit it a little bit in order to fit those containers. They're a little bit different because the previous one, they were just like cylinders, and they put it there and they fill it. We have actually a lot of projects, that much that we are even hiring new people to handle those projects. We are working in three areas, three main areas, I would say: medicine, education, and general manufacturing or enhancement of local businesses. Briefly, in medicine, we are working with several medical institutions and professionals, including MRC unit de Gambia, including, for example, Dr. Keba Marina. We are working on basically development of devices that can be 3D printed, manufactured locally, but not only because of the supply chain issues during COVID, but also we are exploring what can 3D printing actually do better than the conventional methods of manufacturing. There are several ways how 3D printing enters into the product life cycle. I would say for the non-medical application, it's for example branding, but for the medical application, it's for example production of the spare parts or production of the customized equipment that cannot be purchased anywhere, basically. So we are able to produce literally anything that kind of fits into our design space of the 3D printing capabilities. 3D printing industry all over the world provided a rapid response to the COVID needs, especially in production of the items that were not available due to high demand. What I'm talking about, the shields, you can find two of the shields on the table. If you can hand me one. This part is actually 3D printed, and these parts, like the visor and the rubber, are locally available in the market. And with a 3D printed frame and locally available material, you can create a personal productive device for the medical workers, but also another people and staff working in a close contact with the people. Either patients or public and so on. And I would say we produced, I think, over 10,000 of the shields. And basically, this is one of the things that has been, I would say, very impactful in the Gambia. Now there are commercial products available, so now the demand for the shields is not so high. But at the beginning of the pandemic, nothing was available. So we had a machine. And you see all this thing on the table, all this thing was done with one machine. So there's no need for single different machine for producing a different thing. One machine can produce all of these different shapes and all of these different applications. Recently, when we're talking about impact, we started exploring the new materials, especially antimicrobial. We have materials which are certified to actually kill bacteria and viruses, even coronavirus, on their surface. So basically things like door handles, things like even things like pens on the public offices can be made of this material. So when the people are handing one to another, they will, I would say, decrease the risk of infection. So this is another area that we have been exploring.
Talking about pens, like I always, whenever I go to the bank, I always bring out my own pen from my bag to use all the time whenever I have to sign something or when I have to write something. So I believe the pens are one of my actual favorite because they were made by antibacterial filament, and since it cleans itself and it kills the bacteria on the surface, I can use it and put it down, and if someone else comes, they can pick it and use it and there will be no issues because it has already killed the bacteria. So it is one of my favorite items that has been 3D printed so far because I am very, you know, I don't like touching everything.
We want to invite people. We want to get the technology to people. We want to make sure that everyone can come and benefit from the technology in the Gambia at the first. And then we would like to expand also to West Africa as a 3D printing company and as the company providing solutions with this technology. 3D printing is not only about the technological projects, I would say, or highly sophisticated projects. We are trying to find a way how local businesses can benefit from 3D printing. For example, right now we are working with producers of local cosmetics, lip balms. And one of the challenges they face is because they don't have the automated production, they need to do everything with their basically one by one, manually. It takes a lot of time. So we are designing a device that can help them to increase the speed and effectivity of the process, and that's why in the result to basically increase their profit and develop their business. So applications of 3D printing where the technology enhance the businesses, and that's one of the ways that we want to go in the Gambia and the West African regions. Furthermore, we are developing medical applications because availability of certain medical devices is an issue in not only in West Africa. So we want to basically, we're developing applications where with relatively low investment, the hospital or the medical facility or an NGO will be able to produce a series of devices, of equipment, protective equipment, and so on. So the versatility of the technology is what we are talking about. We have one machine and we have hundreds of designs and applications and products that can be produced by this one machine.
So there's no need to change the machine. When you want to make a pen, you don't need a different machine for that. When you want to make soap mold, you don't need a different machine for that. All you need is to change the design and set up the machine to what you want to print. So that is one of the biggest advantages of 3D printing. And we say people can come to us, to our office, but if people cannot come, we go to them because that's another very big advantage of 3D printing. We can easily move, we can easily centralize.
We have to.
Yes, and we can get to every corner of the country today if you wanted to. And we definitely want to. We are already doing that. So yeah, one of our machines is still in CRR. So
no, it was brought back.
It was brought back, but it was in CRR for a while, and the women there were using it to produce soap molds for their soap business. The local women that make soap, this locally made soap. So previously they were using these cups that they pick up from naming ceremonies and weddings. That's what they were using to shape and mold their soaps. But now they're using the 3D printed soap molds, which are actually branded with their logo, and they have a unified size, and they told me it has really helped them in developing their business, as previously they didn't know how to even size their products. They were just doing it randomly, and they did not have a margin for what they wanted to do, how they would sell, or what prices to give. But now they have unified soap molds with the same sizes, their brand. So it has helped a lot in expanding their business to show the world what they're doing, basically, and just boost their economy. At least now they can know exactly what they're selling and what to expect from there. So some of the challenges African entrepreneurs face is basically not knowing which way to go, and I believe that is one of the biggest problems that have been faced. So when we came with the 3D printers in Gambia, there was nothing like 3D printing. So it's completely new, and we had to do the exploration on ourselves, on our own, and we have to figure out what was needed and what could be possible in 3D printing.
And I mean, that's the craziest part, really.
Yeah, that is the craziest.
To unlock people's mind. You have a new technology, you understand it very well, but explain it to the other businesses in the way that they will see its benefit. That's crazy challenging.
And to contextualize it to the Gambian society. Because I see all that we are doing right now is things that we need in the Gambia. We're not just looking at things that can be 3D printed, of course. That's what we want to do, and that's what we will want to do. But we are looking at things that will be needed in the Gambia, things that you cannot easily find in the market, things that you will need. Let's say spare parts, for example. Sometimes you have a whole set of something and just one part breaks and it breaks your entire hat. You cannot even fix it, or you have to put it aside to buy a complete new one.
This is a part of the wheelchair, I don't even know which part, but there was like this plastic button that tend to break very easily. So, and you cannot buy it. And you cannot even manufacture it using conventional methods here in the Gambia. So we were asked to design, and basically when it's out, it looks like this. And you can easily replace the original parts which breaks, and basically use it in the way that it's supposed to be used.
So basically we can say this wheelchair would not have been in use if they did not have the pad.
Well, it has been in use, but not being able to change the size, to change the setting, I would say.
So it's either you break it, you stop using that function completely, or you 3D print a solution. So yes, finding solutions to problems.
Make3D is a success story and the biggest 3D printing company in West Africa that continues to expand rapidly. We at Muso Media House will continue to share stories like this and many others around Africa and in diaspora to encourage young entrepreneurs and business startups. Join us on our social media platforms as we continue this conversation and many more at Muso Media House. I am your host, Saida Batuli.